My name's Kathryn Vinson, and I am from Georgia, but I live here, been here for going on 17 years. I met my husband, Chris, not long after we moved to the state, and we've been married for almost 13 years. We have two little girls, Ella Kate, who is in 3rd grade, and Amelia, who is in kindergarten.
My name is Steve Musick. I am a pastor in Maryville, Tennessee at New Providence Presbyterian Church. Been there 14 and a half years.
My name is Jan Evridge, and I'm from Knoxville. I work at Home Federal Bank, and I am widowed, have 2 grown daughters.
My name is Frank Murphy. I live in Knoxville. I've been living in Knoxville since 2002. I do afternoons on Classic Hits 93.1 WNOX.
And my name is Sherry Turner. I'm from Clinton, Tennessee. I have a son that's 16 and a daughter that's 14, and they go to Anderson County schools, and I work at Return Solutions.
My name's Josh Klinger. I'm originally from Dayton, Ohio. I moved to Knoxville about 5 years ago. Worked for a few years at the University of Tennessee, and now I am a financial advisor at Morgan Stanley.
My name is Alexis Hornbuckle, former Tennessee Lady Vol class of 2008, the last champions at Tennessee. Also current professional basketball player and entrepreneur.
My name is Will West. I'm from Seymour, Tennessee, nearby to Knoxville. I host a sports radio show on Sports Radio WNML. I do a sports broadcast on some other radio stations. I do a little bit of writing and a little bit of blogging and things like that as well.
I'm Karen George. I'm with Realty Executives. I'm a realtor, and I live in Oak Ridge, Tennessee.
Being out in the community and educating people on LLS and what LLS does is impactful. The more people that can get involved, hopefully the more money that we can raise.
I am participating because of my brother. He was diagnosed with multiple myeloma in 2006 and managed to go into remission actually twice during that time, but he passed away in May of 2016, so he survived for 10 years after his original diagnosis.
I was touched by it personally. My aunt was diagnosed with leukemia around 2006, and unfortunately she lost that battle last April.
My son had cancer, had follicular lymphoma, the rarest form of juvenile. He is the 25th in the world to have the type and 4th in the US. And so that's frightening. It was devastating. It took many times of chemo and inpatient stays, and it's just a change on the whole family.
My good friend Micah Heron asked if I would participate in it, and she didn't even know at the time that my mother had passed away just 2 years ago from Hodgkin's lymphoma. So I feel like I was just kind of led to it. It was meant to be. I don't think my mom would have ever wanted me to seek out doing a campaign like this in her honor, but it just makes perfect sense, because what can you do to help honor the person that was closest to you? I can't bring her back, but I can help raise awareness and maybe raise some funds for better treatments.
It's a vicious disease, and it's almost everywhere, unfortunately. But I think we can change that.
I'm glad that there's more than what I thought this was, because when my dad was diagnosed, I really thought they had got it all wrong, because I honestly thought that leukemia was only for children, and I was really wrong, and I didn't have a clue. But I'm glad there's this. I'm glad there's hope for other people, and that we can help find a cure for them, and that they get another day or another year.
My son is a scientist. He's a chemical engineer, so we are big believers in research in our family and doing the work. And I've seen the work that different organizations throughout many different fields have, the way they've benefited from scientific research. So I am excited about that, and I've seen the strides that have been made by LLS.
The money that LLS raises goes for 2 purposes. Number 1, research, and that is so critical. There are so many people diagnosed with all sorts of, not only blood cancers, but other cancers that if it weren't for the research that's been done for many, many years, would not survive anywhere near as long as my brother did, my brother being one of them. So that's critical. And then also providing patient support. Fighting cancer is a very expensive process. So even if you have really good health insurance, it's still a very expensive undertaking.
I was inspired because my co-host on my show, Josh Ward, he ran for the Man of the Year a few years ago with LLS and actually won the Man of the Year. And during his campaign, the Kid of the Year came into our studio and I saw her. She was a 4-year-old girl and it hit me. Like it broke me pretty badly. I remember, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, this was a death sentence. So now this little girl's going to live. I wanted to be a part of that. So whatever it took and in whatever way I can help that movement, I want to be a part of it as much as I possibly can.
If you ask my friends why I would be a good candidate, they'd say that I'm pretty personable, I'm pretty outgoing, I'm pretty easy to get along with. I'm a chameleon in some sense. I can adapt to whatever situation it is. And I'm also passionate about the cause. I think that you need to have some sort of connection or some sort of passion to the cause, which motivates you in those times when it's difficult to raise money.
I have coached 3 different cycling seasons for Leukemia Lymphoma Society with Team in Training. And one of the things that always inspired me, and I hope it inspired some of the team too, is that when we were out there on the bike, and some of it's unpleasant and hard and really pushes us to our limits, I was reminded of people who were laying in a bed someplace, hooked up to chemicals, who couldn't be out there. And because we did that and raised some money, hopefully they're out someplace now, living their life and doing what they would love to do instead of what they have to do.
What I would really, really love to accomplish is to hit that $50,000 mark and have a research grant that I can name after my mother. I think that would do the most honor for her than anything else, to be able to bring in more funding for research, to either eliminate cancer altogether, to eliminate different types of blood cancers, to make the journey easier for families as they go through it, and hopefully not have to have those same experiences.
We know a lot of people, and I know a lot of people that want to help. People have good hearts at the end of the day, and people want to help, and people want to help good foundations like this that do good work, that help people and help children. So I believe in the best in people, and I believe that I can help, organize people together that want to do good things within this community to be able to help this foundation, this organization.
The ultimate goal is to be Woman of the Year, but the ultimate goal is to raise money, raise awareness of this organization, and to raise money for research and for families that are being affected by it.
Well, it's amazing to see the stories, the success stories of people with leukemia and lymphoma. I mentioned I've got a friend who had Hodgkin's and has put on Facebook that she's beaten it, and that's because of treatment. You don't just magically beat lymphoma. The doctors and nurses and all of the research scientists have worked hard to help save these lives, and that's what we're doing. We're doing the fundraising that makes that possible. I can't go into a laboratory and study T cells and cancer cells. I don't have those skills. But if I can provide a few $1,000s that allows an actual scientist to do that work, well, then I've helped.
I'm a mom, and I was very fortunate that my children, who are in their 20s and early 30s now, have always been very healthy. I cannot imagine what it would be like as a parent to get that diagnosis, first of all, and watch your child go through something that you would, in a moment, trade places with them.
I like to kick leukemia and lymphoma's ass. I mean, I would really like for us to cross a threshold where we've got this disease on the run in this country.
Every dollar matters. It goes to a great cause. It's going to help other families. And even though my aunt lost her battles, there's so many other people out there, young and old, that can use all the help and all the financial assistance that they can get.
I'm going to do everything I can to win. And what's most important is, I think at the end of the day, all the money that is raised will help all the patients win.